Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
Juan Vicente Perez Mora, the oldest man in the world, died on April 2, 2024, at 114 years old. He was from Venezuela and was formally recognized as the oldest man in the world by Guinness World Records. Juan Vicente, born in El Cobra, Táchira, Venezuela, on May 27, 1909, was the ninth of the 10 sons of Eutiquio del Rosario Perez Mora and Edelmira Mora. What was his secret to happiness and long life? He explained that it involved loving God and always carrying Him in your heart. He also always carried his rosary and prayed it twice daily. From the age of 5, he worked in the field alongside his dad and brothers, where he worked as a farmer of sugarcane and coffee. When he turned 10 years old, he attended a school, but his stay in academics lasted only 5 months as the teacher fell ill and he then returned to the hard work of agriculture. Despite this, Juan learned the basics of reading and writing, thanks to a notebook given to him by his teacher Carmen. His marriage to Ediofina del Rosario Garcia lasted nearly 60 years, until his wife passed away in 1997. They had 6 sons and 5 daughters, and the family has grown to 41 grandchildren, 18 great-grandchildren, and 12 great-great-grandchildren. According to relatives, he was close to God and to his loved ones, and prayed the rosary at least twice a day. My uncle Vicente transmits a lot of peace, tranquility, and radiates much joy. He is a person who has a lot to give. He enjoys the basics of life and is very grateful to God. His family is his support, said his nephew Freddie Abreu. Another former oldest person in the world and the oldest woman in the world was the French nun Sister Andrée, who was born on February 11, 1904 and was baptized Lucille Randon. She reached 118 years old. Juan Vicente prayed during a church celebration in honor of his birthday. His relatives comment that he used to regularly attend Holy Mass, but because of the pandemic he had not been able to do so. A priest in Zaragoza, Spain died on April 4 at the Miguel Servet Hospital as a consequence of serious burns suffered at the Easter Vigil. The clothing of Father Javier Sanchez caught on fire at the candle ceremony of the vigil and he had to be admitted urgently to the ICU, where he died. The event occurred in the convent of the Santa Isabel neighborhood, where the religious resided. Apparently, some type of accelerator was used to light the flame, burning the habit he was wearing. The priest tried to protect the nuns of the convent when the fire broke out in the bowl that was used. Then the flames ignited the chasuble and the severity of the burns caused his death. Explained sources from the archbishopric. The priest was only 60 years old at the time of his death. The Archdiocese of Zaragoza said that he was the chaplain at the convent of the Franciscan Conceptionists of the Santa Isabel neighborhood, where he was going to celebrate the Easter Vigil. The Christian community feels his loss deeply. We ask you to help us spread the message and remain united in prayer to the love who gave his life for love. Xavier Novel Goma, former Bishop of Solsona, in Spain, and psychologist Sylvia Caballol, have married in the Catholic Church. The laicized bishop was granted a dispensation by Pope Francis, in accord with Canon Law 401. The couple were married civilly on Monday, November 22, 2021, in the Curia Justice of the Peace, Barcelona. Xavier Novel, at the age of 41, in 2010, became the youngest bishop in Spain, appointed by Pope Benedict XVI. He is now 54 years old, while Caballol was born in 1983 in Curia. Caballol, who is also a famous author, has a degree in psychology from the Autonomous University of Barcelona. Canon Law 401 states, a diocesan bishop who has become less able to fulfill his office because of ill health or some other grave cause is earnestly requested to present his resignation from office. It was on August 23, 2021, that Novel officially resigned from his position as Bishop of Solsona. Novel and his wife have twin children together. The psychologist has 2 children from her first husband, a Moroccan Muslim. On her Instagram, Sylvia wrote, "I honestly believed, after so much time that you have been with us, not to hide from you that Xavier and I have finally been able to get married in the church, thanks to the mercy of the Holy Father who has granted him secularization. I have been in awe of the great human and spiritual quality of Pope Francis. It has been a long road, but we have been able to regularize our canonical situation, marry as we wished and be able to receive communion again. He remains a bishop, but without being able to exercise the ministry." The Diocese of Solsona wrote in 2021 that the bishop has freely presented for strictly personal reasons, in accordance with what is contemplated in Canon 401(2) of the Code of Canon Law. Monsignor Novell made the decision after a period of reflection, discernment and prayer, at the end of which he spontaneously presented to the Holy Father his own situation and his resignation from the pastoral government of the Diocese of Solsona. They concluded, "The diocesan community of Solsona welcomes this difficult moment with the trust placed in God, Supreme Shepherd of the Church, and raises his prayers for the Holy Father, for Monsignor Novell." The Catholic Church in France announces record-breaking growth as over 12,000 people were baptized at Easter. 4 days before Easter, one of the 2 most important holidays for Catholics alongside Christmas, the Conference of Bishops of France presented the 2024 results of its annual survey on catechumens, who are adults and adolescents, baptized each year on Easter Day, after having engaged in the path of initiation into Christian life called the catechumenate. During a press conference in Paris, Catherine Chevalier, director of the National Service for Catechesis and Catechumenate, detailed the 4 major trends observed this year. Like last year, the 104 dioceses of France recorded a sharp increase in catechumens, with over 30% growth in 2024. In total, 7,135 adults were baptized at Easter this year, and more than 5,000 adolescents, middle and high school students. The share of young people aged 18 to 25, particularly students, among catechumens, continues to increase in 2024, after the very significant increase observed last year. They now represent more than a third of newly baptized adults. The trend observed last year in rural areas is confirmed, with 29% of adult catechumens living in rural areas. In 2024, the 3 ecclesiastical provinces recording the highest increases, over 50%, are Besançon, Dijon and Clermont. The Diocese of St. Claude, Jura, in particular recorded a record increase this year with more than 200% of catechumens compared to last year. Although a large majority of adult catechumens come from families of Christian tradition, people declaring themselves from families without religion are increasing significantly. They now represent a quarter of adult catechumens. During this press conference, Jean-Yves Lepine, baptized last year of the Diocese of Versailles, also gave his testimony saying he had a joyful and dynamic parish community. "Through them, I discovered an open and welcoming church, and extremely diverse. Faced with a society that appears more and more materialist and seems to promote a form of consumerist individualism, being Christian and Catholic is to experience that the good is to care, pay attention, and more broadly love, is better than goods, that is to say, possessions, wealth, power or glory."
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.